A story here cuts Premium Times. FG replies PDP, kidnapping, banditry, not federal offences. A federal government on Tuesday berated the opposition PDP for displaying crass ignorance that kidnapping and banditry are not federal offences. The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, at a media briefing in Abuja, said it was shocking that PDP ruled the nation. Said it was shocking that PDP ruled the nation for 16 years, yet ignorant of the legal structure. Mr. Mohammed was responding to an allegation by the opposition party that kidnappers and bandits were not being brought to book by the federal government. Quote, the PDP alleged the kidnappers and bandits are not being brought to justice. This is apparently aimed at the federal government. The PDP should therefore call out the states, including those being controlled by it, to ensure a rigorous prosecution of arrested kidnappers and bandits. Meanwhile, PDP conveniently forgot that as far as terrorism, a federal offence is concerned, this federal government has successfully prosecuted thousands of Boko Haram members in Kainji as part of a continuing exercise. We are now seeking the cooperation of the judiciary to continue with the trial of arrested terrorists. Absolutely. And interesting, the version as published by the Punch newspaper is captioned thus: prosecuting kidnappers, bandits, not FG Mohammed. The Minister of Information and Culture, Elijah Lai Mohammed, is bandits. He said kidnappings and banditry were not federal offences. And he said this at a press conference in Abuja. So basically, the discussion on this in this hour: whose responsibility is it then to prosecute bandits and kidnappers? As the minister has suggested, it is not the responsibility of the federal government to do so. We're joining me via phone right now for this conversation. Former chairman, Nigeria Bar Association, Amok branch, associate professor of public law, Rivers State University, Barrister Ritchard Wokocha. He joins me via phone. Barrister, good evening to you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dayo. Good evening and good evening, Nigeria.
So, a very straightforward and direct question here. Whose responsibility is it to prosecute kidnappers and bandits, since the minister would have us believe it is not a responsibility of the federal government?
Dayo, I think the minister admits that kidnapping is okay. Yeah, he says both kidnapping and
banditry.
Terrorism is banditry. Terrorism, he admitted.
Yes.
The truth is that both the federal and state governments have the power to prosecute persons who commit those offences. Both the federal and the state governments have responsibility to prosecute persons who commit those offences, principally because these offences are offences under the Criminal Code Act. The conducts that are criminalized by the offences are criminalized by the Criminal Code Act, which is a federal legislation, and the Criminal Code law of various states of Nigeria. So it's an offense for which both levels of government have responsibility to prosecute.
What might the minister mean then, or when he says that kidnapping and banditry are not federal offences?
Honestly, my take on it is that he probably meant, since we are trying to conjecture what he meant, he probably meant to say, or what he intended to say is that it's not an offense in respect of which only the federal government can prosecute. So that what he was implying is that, look, it's something about which even the states have power to prosecute. So we should be talking of the states also prosecuting those who are committing the crime, instead of calling on only the federal government. That ought to be what he should be saying. At the moment, we can only hope that that's what he was saying. But the true position is that both the federal and the state governments have power to prosecute.
Now, the arresting agencies are usually the police, and even when other agents of government, security agents like the military, say army, or or whatever else, makes these arrests of kidnappers or bandits, they usually hand it over to the police. Now, the police being the arresting agency here, doesn't that automatically imply that the police will also be the prosecuting agency? And since the police is a federal government agency, doesn't that mean that if the police is the one prosecuting it, that by extension, by implication, the federal government is the one in it?
In fact, we have a single police, even though we are a federation, and that single police is controlled by the federal government. So that makes it impliedly what we will hold the federal government responsible for if enough is not being done, because it's the police, the federal police, that is tackling crime. Where perhaps there can be a little thing to point out is the fact that all prosecutions in the state, under the laws of the state, are subject to, even under the Constitution, are subject to being controlled, taken over, and ended by the Attorney General of the state. So to that extent, every prosecution going on in the state, as it were, other than prosecutions of federal offences in federal court, every other prosecution going on in the state is subject to the control of the Attorney General of the state.
So
but besides that, all the agencies that are involved in battling banditry, yes, kidnapping is police responsibility. Banditry is also police responsibility, so to speak. But both the police and the army and all other agencies that are involved in what we usually call Joint Task Force, which is a creation to stem off police power in tackling intra-territorial problems. All those agencies are under federal control and have no obligation to take instruction as far as the law is concerned. Have no obligation to take instruction from the state government.
Now, does the minister have much of a pedestal or platform to stand on? Because as you just rightly pointed out, the agencies that are responsible for protection of lives and property, and even making these arrests as well, where people go against the law, the police, for example, are controlled by the federal government. So if there is no arrest made, if there is no arrest made by the police or any other such agency, prosecution can't even take place in the first place. So does the minister really have much of a platform or ground to stand on with his argument?
It makes no sense to talk of federal government not being responsible. No, it's absolutely nonsense, so to speak. The proper thing is simply to have said, look, we are not alone in this thing. Others also have power to do something about it, and it should also be calling on them to also to do something on their own side to reduce the state of what is happening. But they cannot say federal government is not responsible for it. Absolutely no sense.
All right. So how about the matter of what do you think the minister the point he was trying to make also when he compared the situation with banditry and kidnapping to terrorism? Because it seemed that he was pressing home the point. It appears he was trying to press home the point that kidnapping, banditry is not the federal government's problem. It's not the federal government's concern, because he made a comparison talking about terrorism, and he said terrorism, which is a federal offense or been attended to by, I'd like to quote him right now, as far as terrorism, a federal offense is concerned, this federal government has successfully prosecuted thousands of Boko Haram members in Kainji as part of a continuing exercise. Doesn't that suggest that he's saying that this is our concern? That's where we've prosecuted thousands. The bandits and kidnappers are not really our concern. That's why we've not prosecuted tens or hundreds or thousands of them.
Clearly, it suggests that his understanding of the situation is that they do not have responsibility for enforcing the law against bandits and kidnappers. That's clearly what our comparison suggests, which is wrong.
All right, this juncture, I think I'll take a few contributions right now. The lines are open. Let's hear from you. 0817 923 0002 or 0003. 0817 923 0007 or 0009. The numbers that you can call. We're live on Twitter at Nigeria Info PH, live on Facebook.com/Nigeria Info PH also. Barrister, you've pointed out once again that the police and other such agencies who make these arrests are federal agencies. The state can prosecute, the federal government can prosecute. What and who, what or who determines or decides who prosecutes what case, whether or not it's the federal or state government?
But the police have express power to prosecute anybody who is arrested in respect of those crimes. And with that express power, the police has always prosecuted. But there have also been cases where state ministries of justice have prosecuted, where files go to the ministry and the Attorney General of the state handles the matter. So under the Attorney General, the Director of Public Prosecution will prosecute. So it's something that both sides can do something about. And when the police act in the state, it doesn't take instruction from the state before acting. And that's why, even in the constitutional provision for the Office of the Attorney General, it says it has power to take over, which implies that, or explains that, prosecution can take place without Attorney General's participation. He has power to take over in such cases. So the police prosecutes without leave or without authorization of the state government. They do not require the authorization of the state government before they can prosecute in the matters that they have been prosecuting.
All right, so there's a question here via Facebook. Sarah Dixon Iguatu sent this in, and she says, what crimes are classified as federal offences? Are there any such crimes, and what are they?
Well, federal offences are offences created by a federal law. Conducts that are criminalized or declared crimes by a federal law. And because you have crime is basically a concurrent issue, where the federal legislation or law criminalizes a conduct is created by a federal law, and so it's a federal offense. So where you have that, and you also have similar thing, and you do have them like that. The state criminal code law is basically a mirroring of the Criminal Code Act made by the federal government. So where the offense exists as federal and state, the state has power to prosecute it. And as I said, the Criminal Code law of nearly every state is nearly on all fours the same with the Criminal Code Act, which is the federal legislation made for the entire federation. But if a matter is an offense, and it's not an offense created by a federal law, then it's not a federal offense.
The minister, once again, going back to the reference he made with, or the comparison with terrorism, is suggesting that terrorism is a federal offense, and that's why the federal government has, according to him, tried thousands of people or prosecuted thousands of people as regards offense of terrorism. Is that correct? Would that be correct that terrorism is a federal offense and as such is strictly prosecuted by the federal government? Or states, because I want to imagine that terrorism must be a crime even under state law as well.
Yeah, the conducts that constitute terrorism, of course, are also crimes under the state law, yes. They are.
So can states or do states also prosecute terrorism-related crimes as well?
They should be able to, and I believe that they possibly would have. It's just what I said. All arrests and prosecution begin with the police. And the police is the federal agency. So if prosecution is going on in the state, are taking is being handled by the police. The federal agency that is at work. So that's why we don't assist see clearly where it is at prosecuting terrorism. Because the agency that is involved in doing it, the federal agency.
Once again, lines are open 0817 923 0002 or 0003, 0817 923 0007 or 0009. WhatsApp is on 0809 030 6416. You can tweet at Nigeria Info PH as well. Hello, welcome.
Hello.
Hi, go ahead.
Good evening.
Hello, go on.
Yes. You say, with regards to the last question you asked, that whether state can prosecute offense against terrorism. Offense against terrorism can only be prosecuted by the federal government. In fact, if you look at the Anti-Terrorism Act, you will find out that even the police cannot prosecute any offense against terrorism without the permission of the Attorney General, without the consent of the Attorney General. So it is strictly a federal government offense, and it's only the federal government that can prosecute offense against terrorism. That is the area aspect I just want to correct with regards to what your visitor in the studio have just said. Thank you.
Barrister, your thoughts on that?
Yes, he is correct that the consent of the Attorney General of the Federation is required for prosecuting terrorism as the offense of conduct that constitutes offense under the Terrorism or Anti-Terrorism Act. That is correct. But as I said, you don't even see the need arising because everything about bringing persons to book, first apprehending and then bringing to book of those who are involved are undertaken by the federal agency. And so they obtain the necessary leave, where leave is required as in that case. They obtain the necessary leave and proceed. It's not usually handled by the state. In practice, you don't see it, even if the conduct falls within a conduct that is an offense under state law. If the charge is coming under the Anti-Terrorism Act, then it will go the proper way through the leave of the Attorney General of the Federation.
Hello, 913.
Hello, good evening, Dayo.
Hi, go ahead.
Progress opening. Dayo, to hear the minister say that, or say what he has just said, it's purely a clear indication of where we have been or where we are. For a minister of information to come out to tell Nigerians, that tell us the kind of people we parade to be those that we hope for, that will deliver us in this country. I just want to thank the professor for for this clarification. And I want to tell the minister, I don't know whether he's hearing me. If you're hearing me, Mr. Minister, please, the federal government has the power to do what you are denying and stop blaming PDP for what is happening on the land and deliver all of us. Thank you, the Radio Council.
Remember, you can also join the conversation once again via Twitter as well at Nigeria Info PH, WhatsApp on 0809 030 6416. We got the headlines coming up shortly at 5:30, and discussions continue afterwards till 6 when the major news comes up. But via WhatsApp, I want to say this federal government is totally clueless of what to do. All their aim and objectives of contesting the elections was to challenge the PDP and trying to see if they can win. No blueprint or the smallest idea of what to do. What of the repentant Boko Haram members they granted pardon, cooked food and gave new clothes? Did they prosecute those ones? So embarrassed by the statement of Lai Mohammed. Joel from RSU said that. About 5:30 right now, a break for the headlines. Discussions continue shortly. Please stay with us.
Headline News, Nigeria Info on
92.3.
Headline News.
Good evening. Activist Omoyele Sowore calls for pass of vote of no confidence on President Buhari. Security expert Sam Lenu warns against payment of ransom for release of kidnapped Greenfield University students. Senate calls for investigation of Taraba State Police Commissioner over alleged human rights abuse of residents. INEC creates additional polling units in Imo State in preparation for 2023 elections. Public Health Physicians of Nigeria clears misconception suit causes asthma as World marks Asthma Day. Ministry of Interior warns job seekers against fraudulent offers. On the foreign scene, Germany bans Islamist organization Ansar International, several sub-organizations. In business, National Association of Telecom Subscribers calls on Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Issa Pantami, to resign. In entertainment, Grammy Award-winning singer Burna Boy's single, Ye, certified gold by Recording Industry Association of America. And in sports, Premier League fans to return for last two matches. Those are the headlines. Contact our newsroom on 0818-900-0017. Thank you for listening.
Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817-001-8162. That is 0817-001-8162. And let us connect you to your customers. Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817-001-8162. That is 0817-001-8162. And let us connect you to your customers. Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817-001-8162. That is 0817-001-8162. And let us connect you to your customers. Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817-001-8162. That is 0817-001-8162. And let us connect you to your customers. Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817-001-8162. That is 0817-001-8162. And let us connect you to your customers. Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817-001-8162. That is 0817-001-8162. And let us connect you to your customers. Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817 001 8162. That is 0817 001 8162. And let us connect you to your customers. Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817 001 8162. That is 0817 001 8162. And let us connect you to your customers. Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817 001 8162. That is 0817 001 8162. And let us connect you to your customers. Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817 001 8162. That is 0817 001 8162. And let us connect you to your customers. Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS.
Hard Facts with Dio.
Okay, back to Hard Factor 90.3 Nigeria Info here in Port Harcourt. I'm Dio. 23 to go before 6 p.m. Discussions continue, and we're looking at the federal government's position on who's to prosecute kidnappers and bandits. FG replies PDP, kidnapping, banditry, not federal offences. The Minister of Information and Culture, Elijah Mohammed, said this, and I quote, "The PDP alleged that kidnappers and bandits are not being brought to justice. This is apparently aimed at the federal government. The PDP should therefore call out the states, including those being controlled by it, to ensure a rigorous prosecution of arrested kidnappers and bandits." Meanwhile, PDP conveniently forgot that as far as terrorism, a federal offence, is concerned, this federal government has successfully prosecuted thousands of Boko Haram members in Kainji as part of a continuing exercise. We are now seeking the cooperation of the judiciary to continue with the trial of arrested terrorists. My guest has joined me for the conversation via phone, Barrister Ritchard Wokocha. Barrister Wokocha, you're welcome again.
Thank you, Dario.
Also, you can join the conversation at this time via the phone lines. Call 0817 923 0002 or 0003, also 0817 923 0007. We're live on Twitter at Nigeria Info PH. Also live on Facebook.com/Nigeria Info PH. All right, to look at some of the messages that have come in via WhatsApp. Well, I'll get to that in a moment. Let's take a call right now. Hello, you're welcome, 91.3. Hello, good evening, you're welcome to Hard Facts. All right, via WhatsApp, greetings, Dial. I know River State, for instance, has law on anti-cultism, anti-kidnapping, etc. So some other states, if this is true, one, by what means is River State and those other states that have enacted such law are hoping to implement or enforce those legislation enacted by the state governments? Two, why are some state governments taking over certain crimes committed within their domain? Emmy, quite frankly, I'm not sure I understand your questions. But Barrister, do you make anything of those questions?
Yeah, I think he's saying states have laws on anti-kidnapping and related offenses. And he's asking that how can they implement those laws? I think he's misunderstanding the claim of the minister. The minister did not say that the states have no power to implement them. He was rather saying that they are state offenses, which our position here is that they are both federal and state offenses because they are offenses in both federal law and in state law, and that both have responsibility to implement them.
All right. And also via WhatsApp, hello and good evening. To say the minister is clever by half is dignifying his monumental mediocrity. It also depicts how the FG is sympathetic to the bandits and terrorists. If banditry was the responsibility of the state, why did the FG chide Governor Autumn when his state promulgated a law against it? The state governor and the people of Benue were asked to remove the laws if they don't want to continue being killed. It's completed beyond me. Where this group of humans come from, no conscience again, just because of ephemeral lucre. There's no need for any legal debate on this matter. The FG is completely complicit in all this horror Nigerians are going through. That's Sam Anthony. Once again, numbers are 0817-923-0002 or 0003, and still via WhatsApp. Victor Rufus goes, the prosecution rests with the states because in most cases the prosecuting agency needs the DPP's advice to go ahead with such prosecution. Second, these cases happen in the states. I'll ask you about that shortly, Barrister, but I'll take a call right now. Hello, Hart Frank, welcome.
Good evening.
All right, go ahead.
Charles from Yenego.
Go ahead.
There are times the DSS normally arrange some banditry in Federal High Court. I think I've known many times like that. So why the minister would say such a thing? Sometimes the DSS do arrange some banditry, Federal High Court.
Okay. Hello?
Hello, Dayo. Good day, Dayo.
Hi, you're welcome.
I am Sima Ben calling from Twitter.
You're welcome, go ahead.
You see, Dayo, it is the primary duty of the government, whether local, state, or federal government, to protect the life and the properties of the city. But it makes my imagination when issues like this come up and the government is beginning to bargain with the life of Nigerians. If these bandits were to keep money in the forest and ask the people to come and claim it, you see that the federal government will say that money belongs to them. That doesn't belong to the state. Take, for instance, the case of Delta State, the money of the Bori that he looted from Delta State. The federal government were about to claim that that will be the money of the federal government. Then why is it that when it comes to in the case of the life, protecting life and the properties of Nigeria, they start to shift who belongs to who has the responsibility? How will the government, the federal government, start to tell you, the citizens of Nigeria, that they don't have the right to prosecute bandits, that it is the duty of the state to do that? So, in this case, we have found ourselves in a very helpless situation. We have found ourselves, the government is not responsible and it's not responsive. So, in my own opinion, all this issue of doing this and that, we should look for a way and protect ourselves. The government has told us clearly that they don't have the right to protect us. So that is it, Dayo.
All right. Hello? So, Barrister, I'd like to ask you about a comment on WhatsApp, from WhatsApp just a while ago. If you can hear me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Dayo.
All right. The comment goes, the prosecution rests with states because in most cases, the prosecuting agency needs the DPP's advice to go ahead with such prosecution. Second, the cases happen in the states. I'd like you to consider the first part of that comment, that since the prosecuting agency needs the DPP's advice to go ahead with the prosecution, then he's convinced it rests, the responsibility rests with the states. What's your position on that?
But I think the proper way to contextualize our comment is that crimes happen within territories, and every territory, apart from Abuja, in the territory of the state. And so, first line of action, those in position to be able to be worried about it and do something about it, is supposed the nearest government is supposed to be that of the state. That is correct. The offenses happen within the state. But the state has no instruments for enforcing these laws, apart from this court, the state court. And then these offenses cannot appear in the state court unless federal agents have stepped in. The arrest and the arraignment and all that is undertaken by them. Now, when DPP's advice is taken in cases, the law is not that that case must require DPP's advice. DPP's advice is usually required or asked for by the court in trying to determine whether, in the opinion of the Director of Public Prosecutions, it's a matter that can go on in that court. One, whether it thinks the court has jurisdiction, where the issue of jurisdiction is an issue, or whether the court, whether the offense as charged has sufficient material to ground it as a matter that should be proceeded with by the court. And I have always said that those questions are absolutely unnecessary. We have rather used the requirements of DPP's advice as a means of dealing with citizens than as a means of clarifying on the law. The DPP is not a better judge on what constitutes a crime and the articles of a crime as to determine whether there is enough evidence for the court to hear the case. That is a decision the court should be able to make. And the question as to whether the court has jurisdiction or not, the court is a better judge of jurisdiction than the DPP. I've always said those actions of referring matters to the DPP are, for me, practically unnecessary, because the court, the magistrate court, is a better judge of those questions than the DPP. So it's not a necessity, it's not necessitated by law. It's not a provision of the law that the DPP must be consulted before prosecution of those crimes can go on. No, it's not a requirement of the law. The only times when consultations are required is Attorney General, not the DPP.
How about in determining what the charge should be? For example, just a slight digression, but still related somewhat, since we're discussing the DPP right now. In Lagos State, the case of some popular Nollywood actor who was accused of defiling or molesting or maybe even raping a minor. And we hear now that the Lagos State government will be going ahead with prosecuting the case based on advice given by the DPP. Does the DPP have to state what the crime committed is as well before the matter can be prosecuted, and not the arresting agency?
Where matters are referred to, where the police or the arresting agency refers matters to DPP or to the Attorney General's office as the Ministry of Justice, those matters will be prosecuted by the state, no longer by the arresting agent. But the DPP's advice that the gentleman who called was talking about is the usual one we get, where a matter has been charged to court under a charge, and then it's referred, the file is referred to DPP for advice. And that's what I say is absolutely unnecessary and it's not founded in law. It's not a legal necessity for prosecuting any particular offense, obtaining DPP's advice. And I say it's unnecessary because the courts are better judges of those questions than the DPP.
All right, got about 10 minutes to go before top of the hour. We've got the major news coming up then, but your thoughts are still welcome right now. 0817-923-0002 or 0003, also 0817-923-0007 as well. But via Twitter, once again, that's at Nigerian for PH. A reminder, we are live there. At AJ4 News Sheet tweet, it took President Buhari 6 months to select his ministers. I thought he's going to select the best, but look at what we have today as ministers. Very unfortunate. And going over to Facebook right now. Once again, that's facebook.com/Nigeria Info PH. Henry Mba on Facebook goes, I agree with your guest. Both federal and state governments have the power to prosecute those offences, and I want Nigerians to pay more attention to activities of the state governors more than federal, because most of these criminalities are being perpetrated by people at the grassroots, and we should push our governors and the legislators that are from our ward, local and state governments to amend the constitution for establishment of state police. Hello, hard factor, welcome.
Hello there.
All right, go ahead.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Atinike calling from Chuba. Hello there. Hello.
All right, Barrister, we do have to wrap up this conversation at this time. I've just been notified of some commercial break that's coming up. Thank you very much for being a part of the conversation. Always a pleasure to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
All right, of course, commercial break comes up right now. We've got the major news coming up to put the hour at 6 p.m. Discussions continue afterwards. Do please stay with us.